Unverified social media footage showing patients in corridors, purportedly taken from hospitals in Wuhan, world epicenter of the killer virus.
There is nobody actually walking on the street.
Journeys out of Wuhan have been stopped. No one can leave.
You know, the city is essentially on lockdown, which means that we can't get in and out, and the people are not sort of walking around the streets because things are closed. So it's a very different city to what I'm used to seeing.
Local government authorities are building a 1,000-bed hospital in Wuhan from scratch. Officials say it'll be ready within 2 weeks. The virus has killed at least 26 people so far. It began in one of Wuhan's markets. There are more than 830 cases in 7 different countries, including the US, Thailand and Vietnam. Here in Britain, government ministers held a Cobra meeting where they were told all 14 people tested in the UK were not infected. This new coronavirus has been compared with SARS, which also originated in China and killed more than 700 people in the early 2000s. But the world is different now.
This time, the coronavirus has been identified very quickly. There's a test that's available very quickly, and there's already work on the vaccine. Now, in SARS, it took much longer to get all of that untangled. So we learnt from SARS.
It's Chinese New Year this weekend, marked by a reception in Downing Street. And London's Chinatown hosts the biggest celebrations outside Asia. Chinese visitors weren't too bothered about the threat of the virus here or back home. Why are you wearing a mask?
My parents asked me to do so.
Is it putting a slight damper on the Chinese New Year celebrations?
No, I don't think so. When the weather becomes higher, I think it would go away just like SARS. Yeah.
The concern is that this deadly new virus could spread more quickly as millions of extra journeys are made around the world as people come together to celebrate Chinese New Year. But Public Health England says the risk to the UK population is still low, and as yet, no confirmed cases have been found on British soil. Everyone's hoping we stay lucky. Nick Wallace, 5 News.
Well, our political editor Andy Bell is in Downing Street for us tonight. We'll speak to him in a moment. And first, let's go to Edinburgh to our reporter, Tom Barton. And Tom, authorities there still on high alert.
Yes, there's contrasting messages tonight coming from the UK government and the Scottish government. So while the UK government said earlier today that all 14 suspected cases of this strain of coronavirus have come back negative, the Scottish government told me in the last few minutes that of the 5 suspected cases here, 3 of them, they're still waiting for the results. And authorities are still treating this very seriously. Here in Scotland, an incident management team has been set up to monitor the situation, while GPs and nurses across the country have been told that any potential cases should be isolated as soon as possible, and they should take precautions, including keeping doors shut to prevent the spread of this infection. So there is some good news tonight, of course, these negative results, but authorities across the country really taking this very seriously.
OK, let's cross to Andy now. And Andy, how seriously is the government taking this?
Well, Claudia Liza, seriously enough to have a Cobra emergency meeting today, but it's worth noting that the Prime Minister wasn't present, and he was just here next door at number 10 hosting a reception for people to celebrate the Chinese New Year. And I think that's pretty much where the government wants to pitch its response, which is, yes, we're taking the necessary measures to ensure we can prevent this becoming worse, but at the same time, this is not a national emergency because, as we've heard, there are as yet no confirmed cases in the UK. Now, at that Cobra meeting, there were people from the Department of Transport, obviously monitoring how people are coming in from planes, and also people from the Department of Education, because a number of students, Chinese students, could be returning to the UK from China around this time, and the authorities want to ensure that they know exactly what they should be doing if they're feeling sick.